welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. So I just wanted to come on and show you guys a video of what I do with my Cocoa Daisy order and how I use it and what I use it for and all that kind of stuff. So is this really a tutorial? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe this is just a fun video that I'm kind of showing you. But I know how sometimes you get like subscriptions and you're like, how am I going to use this? I have no idea. So I have been getting this subscription. I love the papers. I love everything. I've been enjoying it. However, sometimes I feel like I'm not getting the full use out of it. So this is me just showing you how I divide the planner kit up. So I don't keep them all together. I keep the weeks separate to the other kit. And I use the weeks I put them all together like every month as a B6 weekly planner, vertical planner, although Saturday and Sunday are technically horizontal. And then I hole punch them. I have to hole punch this whole thing. I hole punch them all for my, for discs. Because you know me, I love a good disc. So I hole punch the whole thing for discs. Then I keep the horizontal weeks that are on one page and then the dailies together. And I use the horizontal weeks as like a gratitude. So I write a gratitude every day. And then the dailies is where I literally plan out my day. So I make a to-do list and I'll explain all that later because I show you how I actually set it up, which I think a lot of people, like, I get these kits and I show them in hauls, but they don't actually know what I actually physically use them for because I decorate it all at once. So I spend an evening, basically, I would say, to set the whole things up exactly the way I want them in the planners, with the planner outside. It takes me about an hour. Like, I sit and watch my favorite TV show while I do it, hence why, and I've sped this up, obviously, so this is me adding it to my B6. So I have a Penny Pages cover, that's last month's is ahead of it, and then I just put it aside, and then I decorate it weekly. This one, I'm setting up my dailies, so I'm showing you how I like to set them up. So I always put a washi from the kit on the one side to divide the top and the bottom. Then I put my custom scripts from Pinnacle Sticker Co., which is where I get all my custom scripts from Pinnacle Sticker Co., and I label it. I also use the days of the week, and I will label all the days first. So I do it in like a very repetitious kind of way. So I put the days of the week on, then I'll put the actual date numbers on, then I'll put my custom scripts, and I do one script at a time, and I'll do all of them, but I show you where I put the custom scripts and stuff. And then every morning I will literally write out what I do. This is me picking which numbers I want to use because the great thing about these kits is they come with 2 sets of numbers. So I could use the yellow ones or the black ones, and I chose the black ones this time around. So I use them to put all the dates. And yes, I date the whole planner. So I date the whole planner next. I'm just kind of showing you guys my process, and then I speed through because you guys don't need to see me put 31 numbers down, but you get the idea. And then I kind of show you how I set up the day. So I put at the top, well, it kind of just depends on the order, but basically, long story short, I put down at the very top, I put down how I feel, why I feel this way, what I can do to make myself feel better. I put my top project, one step towards the top project, and why the project matters. I put down a to-do list, and then I write down what time I'm up and what time I plan to go to bed. And I've taken all those prompts from the 5-Second Journal by Mel Robbins. So I used to purchase that journal. I actually still have one in my cupboard. But I love the decoration process of this planner. And so I decided to move those prompts, which is what I like about the other planner, just into this. So I just buy literally 2 sheets of custom scripts from Pinnacle Sticker Co. I purchase this daily planner, and then I make my own Mel Robbins 5-Second Journal that is pretty, but in this planner. Long story short. So that's what I do. I forgot that I liked to add the actual calendar to my B6 journal that's my social media journal, because I fill out the calendar and put all the important dates for all my shops in the actual monthly view. So that's me doing that. And then of course I'm just adding a tab to make sure that I can see it. So when I flip through it, then I know where like September is and that kind of stuff, and then move on to my weekly. And then I go back to my dailies, but I forgot to add the calendar. Like I said, this is kind of a new process to me. And then now you're going to get to the fun part. So basically I add a piece of deco of some form to every single page. So I will flip to every single page and I will switch between die cuts, quotes, whatever, and I will decorate the whole planner. This is kind of the fun part for me. This is the part that I enjoy the most. And then when all's said and done, then I will take the planner, I will put them in discs, and then I will decorate the actual folder that it goes in with the supplies that I have. So that's how I make the subscription, the Cocoa Daisy subscription, work for me. The great thing is, obviously, you don't have to do it the way I do it. You can do it whatever way you choose to do it. You can use the boxes for 150 different things than I do. This is just how I do it. So it's just kind of an idea of how I liked to daily plan. I always have to have a to-do list. And like sometimes I've had those lists are like everywhere, but I find when I hand write them in the morning, I know what it is that I want to accomplish in the day. So a to-do list is very important to me. I also really love the prompt of how I feel in the morning and to write why and what I can do to make myself feel better. It's just kind of a daily reminder to do what's important and to know what, and to really think, I guess, and brainstorm what it is that you can do to feel better. Do you know what I mean? Like part of a gratitude, but also like a way to like, what makes you happy? What would make you feel good in a day? What could you do? Do you know what I mean? Like actual action items that you could do that would make you feel better. The up at and bed at, that is so varied for me because I'm a shift worker. Supposedly there's science behind why you write up at, end at. It's because then you like actually limit your work day, that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's 100% effective or relatable to me, but supposedly there's science behind it, so I do it. But I'm telling you, my up at and bed at are varied 1,000 times, because if I'm doing nights, it's very different than if I'm doing days. Does that make sense? Like it's just vastly different depending on what I have. And sometimes my up at and bed at is like 24 hours outside of each other. So like it's a whole thing, guys. Anyway, I also love the top project. It's very important to pick that one thing that if nothing else happens in the day, that one thing that's most important, that'll get done. And it's also important, why is it important? Like I even put like, so the amount of times I put laundry on that list, my top project today is laundry. And my reason why is if I don't do laundry, we'll be naked. Like that is the reason why. It does not have to be this big grand idea. It can be something simple like laundry. That's totally fine. It's just important that you pick that one thing, because I find that I'm just more productive. If I pick one thing, if nothing else happens that day and I just pick one thing, I get it done. Like 99% of the time, I manage to get it done. So that's why I think it's important to actually like think about it and do that and like actually like decide what it is that you're going to do in a day. And again, pick the mundane stuff. Like if you don't have like, I want to write a book. However, if you want to write a book and that's your top project, like put that on the list. Do you know what I mean? But at the other time, if the top project today is freaking laundry, then the top project is laundry. Do you know what I mean? That's okay too. Like we don't all have to have these big visions of doing whatever. However, it's good to remind ourselves of our goals. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't have time in that day to do that top project, that's okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like, just put it on the next list. There are also times when I don't fill out days in this planner. Like some days I just didn't get up early enough and figure out what I wanted to do today. And I just skipped that day. I think it's a waste that I've set up this whole thing and it's beautiful and I didn't use it. maybe a little bit on the inside, but at the same time I'm trying, and at least if I'm doing a little or a little bit every day, it's important to me that I keep doing it. So this is me deciding how I'm going to decorate it. So I love to do a cover. So I make a cover for the front and I make a cover for the back. So to figure out how to do the covers, I obviously measure and then I cut. So yeah, so that's basically how I do it. And I just use, this is from Michael's from the early 2000s, this cutting machine. So like you can just get any type of cutting machine with slice tools at any place. The hole punch I've got off of the actual Happy Planner website, just because it was on discount when I purchased a bunch of planners. So you can get that hole punch, but that's actually a disc hole punch. It'll work for any disc planner, so you can use it for whatever you want. As you can tell, my like blade on my cutter is a little bit tinier, so, and I need to really think about how to hole punch things when I put them on stuff, because I forget which side is going to be which. So sometimes I like have a bit of a problem with that. I always like to put something on the inside. It usually tends to be Simon because I think it's really funny and it's fun to look at. So like when I'm pulling things aside, I also like to use a bunch of the washi too. And then the pockets. I really love that this comes with pockets. So as you can see, I've decided to put it in this green folder. I'm just putting my tabs on to know where my gratitude is and where my daily start. Sometimes I'll use paper clips to turn to the day, but to be honest, I actually just sit there and flip through till I find the day that I'm actually on. This is what it looked like for last month. Obviously, I didn't film it, but this month I kind of wanted to show you guys how I do it. So I'm, just showing you what last month was. I am going to pull all the discs out of that. As you can see, I've already changed the discs, so I pulled all the discs out of the old one and used them for this one. I'm just labeling my tabs, so I just write gratitude and then I write daily. And then I just label my tabs, and then I take all the little extras and I start to kind of set up my planner setup how I want it to look. I have a bunch of different like B6 covers that I can just like slip in and change it out. I just prefer this one is from Print Pressions. Yeah, I believe so. This is a Print Pression cover. Yeah. So I just kind of take the papers and stuff and kind of like spitball what I want to do in the pockets and stuff. I love using the acetate and vellum, but sometimes I find that it's too big and the picture is a little bit more difficult for me. So I find that like I don't want to wreck the actual picture. So if you notice, when you put something in the pocket of these B6s, half of it's like hidden because it's like shoved in the pocket. And so when I use the vellums and stuff, I don't want to hide all that beautiful artwork. So I have a hard time using them shoved into a pocket because I don't want to hide the majority of the artwork, like the beautiful like birds flying with the camera, that kind of stuff. So sometimes it's really hard, and I don't love cutting up the beautiful picture unless I can like see some of it. So it kind of just depends on the mood I'm in and how I'm feeling, what part I like to use and not use. I often will like stick things on to stick things together. As you can see, I put a sticker across the two because I really wanted to be able to not have to use too much glue, basically, on that. And then I also love to stuff my pockets with certain things. But this is really just kind of like just a fun way to play with paper craft. Is I like stick things on, I like move things. I don't really overthink it because it's only a month, and if it doesn't turn out exactly the way I want, then I can change it. Do you know what I mean? Or I can add things. I also love to clip in the like extra like what are they called? Like you're supposed to use them as notepad boards, some of them. I like to use them sometimes, but the important thing is you can't really necessarily see behind them. So you always kind of have to have like something solid so you can see like the design often, or you have to have like a picture like behind it so that you can see. So Yeah, so sometimes I'm like, I don't like using the like see-through acetates unless there's something behind it so you can actually see what you're looking at. And this one, of course, because it has the double fold pocket, you don't necessarily get to see a lot of the things. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like and subscribe. Definitely go follow me over on Coco and Fluff. Definitely check out all the new things, but I hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.